Hey everybody, this is Kit from the Tualatin Public Library. I have to admit, I'm getting pretty hungry. I think I should make myself a snack. What should I make? How about a sandwich? Let's look. No lunch meat. How about we bake cookies instead? Try that. All right, let's see here. We've got flour, sugar. Why is there rice in the sugar thing? Well, looks like I'm going to have to get a little creative. I guess that's what time is all about, right? We have to be a little flexible. Hmm. That reminds me. I should talk about today's craft. Today, we're going to do Flextangles. They're pieces of paper that you can rotate and see different patterns on, and they're pretty cool. While I think about what I should eat, let's get started. To start this project, you'll need a template, preferably printed on cardstock. This template has directions on it. You're going to need a pair of scissors, some sort of glue, and something to draw with. I'm using colored pencils on mine. If you'll notice on the template there are rows. Those you want all color the same. Forget it's on the template. And so to make an example, I'm going to do a very, very simple pattern of just solid colors all the way across. I highly encourage that you do the same pattern all the way across. It makes more of an effect when you rotate the paper later on. All right, we finished that. And so our next step will be to cut out the template. So the lines are pretty easy to cut along, but try to be as exact as possible. This has some very exacting dimensions to it to make it come out in a better shape in the end and to make it easier to rotate. But again, it's not too hard to cut out, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Next, we will start our folding. Our folding starts along the dotted lines. They just go across the template, up and down. And the way we're going to fold that is we want face to face, so it's going to be in towards us. Now, this is a little difficult to do just because you can't ultimately see the lines that you're folding onto. Fortunately, if you look at the shape of the template, you can see that the lines meet up in order to make the triangle there at the point and along the bottom in a straight edge, and that will give you a pretty decent indication of where to fold. And you have to fold all the way down the shape, and then you'll open it back up. Again, just try to fold according to the lines. Try to get good folds on here. This is what makes this the easy to use. And once you have that all done, then we go on to the next step of folding. These will be the diagonal lines. These diagonal lines we are going to want to fold away from us or away from the pattern. This will be much easier because you can actually see the line. Now, some of the longer folds can get a little more difficult. Just have some patience, take your time. Good clean lines on this are the real way to get a really fun toy at the end. And this will take a little while. This is the bulk of the project. And as you can see here, once I finished, I thought I was completely done, so I started to show you how to glue them together and then realized I had messed up. Because you have to fold the diagonals the other way also. There is a lot of folding on this project. Oh, don't mind my cat. He's really intrigued. Anyway, and now we're going to glue. We're going to glue along the tops that say glue, and there are points at the bottom that have little dots. You're just going to bring those up and fit them in. Make sure they're good and snug. And you might want to wait just a little bit between points if you're having trouble to let it dry a little bit. Since I've done a few of these, I went ahead and did the points all the way down. Just make sure that the points meet up so that you get a nice crisp edge there. And there you go, I did it all the way down. And now we have to wait for a little bit for those to dry before we go to our next step. Okay, waited about 30 minutes to let that glue good and dry. And now we're going to do our final step. And this one's a little bit on the tricky side just because getting it to glue properly can sometimes be a bit of a pain. So I'm going to work the tab just a little bit back and forth because we're going to be gluing on either side and it will be folding back and forth when you move the model. Make sure you get a really good layer of glue on there. Now we're going to wrap this around and we're going to fit the glue into the open space at the very other end of the piece. And this is going to be a little fiddly. You want to kind of turn around, make sure you're catching it on both sides. Once you feel like you've got it in there properly, you're probably going to have to hold it for at least a couple minutes to let it set a little bit. And then, of course, we're going to have to wait a few more minutes for it to dry, probably a couple hours, really. Once it dries, you can rotate it, and there you go. Let's look at our final product. Well, as you can see, being flexible can sometimes be really beautiful. So I'm going to try something new. Just finishing up my snack here. Peanut butter, pickles, and mayonnaise. Let's see how this is, huh? Not bad.